Hello friends, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. Today's video is so exciting. So we are visiting an antique mall, and this is actually my very first time in an antique mall, and it did not disappoint. It was amazing actually. So I filmed this a few weeks ago, so there wasn't too much vintage Christmas, but there was some vintage Christmas sprinkled in there. I kind of want to go back again before Christmas this year because I feel like there will be even more. So right away when I walked in, this area caught my eye. So many like vintage toys and things. It was very cute. And I didn't see, a lot of people had like business cards out. I didn't see one in this area, so I'm not exactly sure whose booth this was, but at first I was showing the cards in the video, but I realized that some of them had phone numbers on them in email addresses, which email isn't as bad, but I decided against showing them just because I didn't want to show someone's phone number, even though I know it's on a business card. It's like the internet and people are just weird. So I took all of the cards with me because I wanted to follow these accounts, which I actually still haven't done yet, but I just decided to type in the Instagram handles of all of the ones that I could see anyway. That way, if you wanted to go follow, you could just give them a follow, and they probably have more info in their bio on their Instagram page. I know some places on their business card it said that they had like an Etsy shop. I did not make it to everyone's booth though, so I definitely didn't make it to everyone's booth, but then also I tried my best to make sure I was finding the Instagram. I mean, I'll be honest, I spent over an hour doing this morning before I'm recording this voiceover, so I did my best. Just know that if I've missed something, it is not intentional at all. But anyway, I love these blue dishes. They remind me of like Jadette, except they're blue. I've never seen them before, so it was kind of cool. I also love this owl clock. I'm actually obsessed. I'm like, why don't I have an owl clock in my kitchen? It would fit perfectly. I was pointing out that canister up there. John and I used to have a set of those, and we sold them a while ago, like years and years ago, and I deeply regret it now because I could sell them now for probably triple what I sold them for back then. But oh well, you live and learn. Booth had so many PYREX pieces, like all this spring blossom. I'm honestly, after visiting here, I visited very shortly after my birthday, and I was thinking next year for my birthday I should just save up like $1,000 and come down and just spend like $1,000 between here and actually next door to this mall is where the vintage Christmas walkthrough that I just did. That's where that store is located. And yeah, I was thinking that would be really fun to do that. I could just kind of save up all year, like put some money away every month until then, and I could make a video too, so it would be fun to kind of like shop with me while I spend $1,000 in this antique mall. One of the things that I did notice was there was quite a few Christmas blow molds, which I want more so bad. So far I just have 2 candles. I love these angels, even though I think they're only from the 90s, which I mean, I guess that's like 30 years ago now. I do like those, and I've been seeing them a lot lately, and they're not as expensive as, say, a blow mold from the 70s or 60s. I loved this double server. I don't think I'd ever seen that before. And then, yeah, some areas, like, I just wasn't clear what booth it was a part of because I don't know. I tried my best. I tried my best. I feel so bad that, like, I might have not included someone. I don't know. And I didn't actually make it to all the booths because we were in there for a while, and I try to be super respectful of other shoppers. So if someone else is in a booth, I just won't go in. And I thought I'll circle back and go to the ones I missed, but then I just didn't end up making it there. So it was a very large antique mall. Like, we were in there for probably at least an hour and a half, if not longer. I liked this booth a lot. They had some Christmas stuff out already, but I thought it was just beautifully merchandised, and I used to work as a merchandiser, so I really appreciate that. But I just thought it was really beautiful. I don't know, there's something like about when things are super visually appealing. It just makes it nicer, I guess. I don't know if anyone remembers, like if you watch my videos frequently, but we just saw these exact same bowling glasses at the Salvation Army store, like within the last couple of months. I forget how much they were in the Salvation Army, but I know they were behind the glass. I actually really love them. They give me like 60s vibes. There's something about color coordinated cubes that I just really, really love. I see that a lot in antique stores. They had that in the mid-century store I filmed back in the summer, and it's so visually appealing looking. I think possibly my best vintage find ever was finding a genie glass for $5.99 at Value Village with the top. I think it's probably my best find ever. I love these little tea things. I was actually just talking about them in a recent video, but I also love these salt and pepper shakers, little birds. I think it's from Norcrest. I have the Lefton version of the Bluebirds. Another great find. I found a set of those for $4 at Value Village. And this isn't even that long ago. Like, this is less than 5 years ago. But I feel like now that would never happen because they would mark them up based on like eBay pricing, which is unfortunate. I think this was the most PYREX I've ever seen in one place at any given time. I'm thinking about refining my PYREX collection to like maybe just a couple patterns and then selling off some of what I have to fund getting more pieces of the ones I want. I don't know. I feel like that's a better plan than just the mishmash that I currently have. It's just almost like too much, I guess. I can't even display it all, and I don't know. These mushroom, it's like Mary Mushroom, but it was made by a different company. I'm pretty sure that I zoom in on the tag. It's Canadian French brand, I think. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, so I don't want to try, but I have the teapot / coffee pot of that. I do find it's like almost identical to the Sears version, which I think was the original, but the biggest difference is I think the color is slightly different, and also the dots on the mushrooms are bigger on the Sears one. I believe that's basically the only difference. I do definitely see that brand more than the Sears one, probably because I live in Canada, and it does tend to be like a little cheaper than the Mary Mushroom, and I think it looks basically as cute as the Sears version. I didn't really go in this booth, but I did notice this fondue pot, and I thought that would go with my kitchen so perfectly. But yeah, I just kind of did like a little quick once over in here. This booth was incredible. I think that this was my favorite. It was just totally my vibe. Although I don't know if it's my absolute favorite. There was definitely a few, I would say probably 2 to 3, maybe 4 that were just completely my vibe. And this was definitely one of them. We actually had to, I kind of had to film a bunch of clips in this one because people were coming into this one pretty regularly. So I didn't want to kind of like intrude. I love this Jadette like pour bowl. I have wanted that for so long. I just envision myself in my kitchen making pancakes and pouring them into the pan. Just such a vibe. But yeah, I just loved this booth so much. It was completely my vibe. I think it was merchandised like beautifully as well. And I'm assuming that they added that checkered floor as well because I didn't see it in any other part of the antique mall, and I just think that's really cute, like a very nice detail. It really made it pop. This wall hanging was so cute and funny. They had a bunch of vintage Tupperware magnets there and other magnets as well. But I love this soup like bowl holder. I am still thinking about this. I was thinking I really wanted it, but I didn't get it. I've been thinking about it nonstop though. The thing with that place is I obviously wanted to go look at everything, and then you like forget about things that you've seen at the beginning. So when I was watching the footage and I saw that, I just couldn't stop thinking about it. It would match my perfect. It would match my kitchen perfectly. I just posted a tour. I'm not sure where exactly I could fit it in, but yeah, so back to the magnets. When I was growing up, my stepmom, she had a massive collection of magnets, like I'm talking hundreds. I wish I had a photo of it. I looked recently for it and I couldn't find one. And then my mom also sold Tupperware, so a lot of those were little Tupperware magnets, so it gave me all the feels seeing all of those. And I was also thinking about maybe buying them. I didn't notice at the time, but in the very back there is some Spice of Life salt and pepper shaker, which are cool, but I feel like I have enough Spice of Life that I don't have any more room for more. This old desk with like a kind of the bookshelf part that goes on top of it, and I noticed they just had a lot of toys and things, but I noticed this caboodle. This is probably, it looks 80s to me, but I had one in the 90s. Mine was different than that, but I noticed these 7-Up glasses too, and I forget the guy's name, but he used to kind of be like the mascot for 7-Up. I feel like it might have started with an F, but I can't remember, but that took me back too. But yeah, they just had a lot of kind of like old toy type, like childhood stuff, I guess. It's very cool. This one had a lot of vintage kind of glass things, and I noticed right away that the same cake plate that I just bought, I feel like I was at Salvation Army, but I could be wrong, but I feel like I only paid $3 or $4 for it, and I remember somebody commenting, I can't believe you got that for that cheap, but I've been using it on my little orange shelf in the kitchen. Really loved that clock that looks like it's a china cabinet. I thought that was so cute. Another fondue pot, avocado green color. This is very much my vibe too, with the avocado greens and like the stoneware platter. This is very 70s vibes. And here is the Lefton set that I was referencing earlier. I found this for $4 at Value Village. And like I said, it wasn't that long ago, but I think they want it $50 for them in here, which actually is not bad. I've seen them as high as like $80 to $100, like online. I did really like this booth as well. Lots of like 70s vibes. Lots of 70s vibes in this little booth too. Well, it's more just like a bookshelf, I don't know. I loved these canisters though. These would totally fit in my kitchen, but I have so many canister sets already that I definitely don't need any more. Other than maybe I'll collect the full Mary Mushroom set. I'm not sure though. I really need to think hard about what I want for collections and what I can just sell to fund getting the collections I want, because I have so much already that I don't have enough room to put it all out, and I feel like there's no point in having it if it's just in a cupboard somewhere where you can't even see it. This one had a few Christmas things out, which is cool. I couldn't actually find any more info about this booth. They had a card with their name, which I put in the text, but it just had a phone number on it, I think, so I didn't want to show that. I saw this tree topper from Zellers, which I say this all the time, but in Canada, we had a big like department store chain called Zellers, but it went out of business. And every time I used to work there, and every time I see stuff from that, it just gives me all the feels, because that's like what we grew up with having. I loved these plastic wreaths. They're so 70s. I wish I could have got them, but I don't think I have any more room for any more wreaths. I think every door in my house is covered like inside and out. I loved these glasses so much, but I say this in every video. I do not need any more vintage glasses. It's ridiculous. I don't even need as many as I have, but I don't know, it's so hard. There's so many cute ones. I have footage of this cute little kind of Christmas corner, but I'm not actually sure like what booth it belonged to. I don't have anything filmed like with a name or anything or like a reference to it, but I wanted to leave it in anyway. And then there is a whole upstairs, which I don't think I realized at first when we first walked in, but this place is so massive. So yeah, there was so much up here. I did find it a little harder upstairs to differentiate where one person's stuff started and another person's stopped, I guess. And I don't think I saw any business cards up here for the booths. I loved this Barbie lunchbox, so I just did the best I could. Just know that I had good intentions when trying to figure all this out, and I spent a long time trying to do that. I loved this yellow lamp so much. I thought it was so retro looking. I mean, it is vintage, I'm sure. And then they had these stools. There used to be a restaurant in like the area. So we were thinking like, oh, wouldn't it be cool if those stools were from that restaurant? I think it was like kind of a department store with a lunch counter. So John actually grew up in this area like his whole life, where I just moved to this area when I was like 19 or 20. So I'm not as familiar with, old things. I loved this bowling pin. I think I get a better look at it. I also loved the radio, but I thought the bowling pin was so cute. I loved this whole set up in here. I feel like that would match my kitchen so perfectly. That's the trouble. I just keep seeing things that would match the kitchen specifically, and so that's why I just have so much stuff that I really need to like curate that better. I couldn't see in any of my footage previous like a name or anything, but I did find a name for this area, so I put that up there. I loved this mug. Now, very few people will get this, but maybe some of you will. That mug reminded me of the old Sobeys logo. I'm gonna love it if somebody out there understands what I'm saying when I say that, but it's a grocery store here in Atlantic Canada. I don't know if it's anywhere else past Atlantic Canada, but that's what it reminds me of. I highly doubt that's what it was, but that's what I thought of when I saw it. Seeing all these mushroom canisters is what made me think about saving up a bunch of money and coming here next year around my birthday. I think they're not the Sears brand, but they tend to be a little bit cheaper, but they also tend to be a little more available, I think, because people are trying to find the Sears ones. I don't know. But for all three of those, it was only $95, which I don't think is too bad of a deal. I mean, a year from now, they could be like, it seems like every single year, vintage things almost like double in price sometimes. So I always feel this sense of urgency to get things that I want before the price goes up. This tin caught my eye because this is a brand of tea that is sold in Canada, Red Rose, but I've never heard of them selling coffee, so I thought that was interesting. Also, the blow molds. The blow molds actually also made me think, oh, if I saved up a bunch of money, I could get like all the blow molds I want and all the PYREX, all the mushroom canisters and things. So I don't know. I think it would be a fun video too. Would you want to see somebody spend like $1,000 in an antique store? I feel like it would be very fun, actually. Like very, very like, I'm not somebody that spends a lot anyway, so for me to spend that much in one outing would be maybe the most I've ever spent. This section had some old, what I'm assuming was probably in grocery store, like displays, which I thought was cool. There was this one for baby food, and then this one that's a brand of chocolate. And then we noticed this plane that was made out of beer cans, which I thought was super cool. It's like, that obviously took a lot of time and patience. I definitely don't like them as much, but I've never seen them before, so I thought it was interesting that these canisters were all just solid yellow. So I've never seen that before. I think these look like the Arnell style, I believe. I loved that little canister with the squirrel on top too. I thought that was so cute. Also would totally match my kitchen. John wanted me to look at this little mouse, which I love. I actually love, in our neighborhood, there's a couple people who have these like wooden painted signs out for Christmas, and it's so cute. I think this board with the little miniature cards on it is for a type of game, but I've never heard of it before, or I don't understand it. But I think that the board itself looks really cool with the mini cards on it. I loved this little sign. I thought it was so cute and funny. I actually read it in John's dad's voice because he's always telling jokes and stuff and he loves it. So I was thinking about him when I read it and read it in his voice. I was like, oh, he would get a kick out of that. Back in the corner, they have lots of cute things. I did not see like a name for any of this area, so I don't know. It might be that there was one that I didn't see, but I can only look at footage that I have. I'm not like at the store, so. But they did have some Christmas things back in this corner, which was neat. I actually regret not getting this. It's this bank. It's a Scrooge on it, but it's from our like hardware store. It's called Canadian Tire, and it was only $10 too. I'm assuming it was probably from the 90s or something. I just, like I said, when you're looking at a lot of stuff at one time, you're kind of thinking like, oh, maybe I'll get that, maybe I'll get that. But then by the time you're like at the end, which this was the end, you're like forgetting about things that you previously saw. I thought these glasses were cute too, the little Holly Hobby Christmas mugs. I thought this was neat too. I'm assuming it's probably 50s or 60s, but I think this is how they used to do like make like flashing lights. Like now you just put in the flasher bulb, but here whatever you plugged into it would flash. So it's different. Another Zeller's tree topper. Gives me all the feels. I can't even tell you, like, it's just my whole childhood. That was the department store, and then I ended up working there, and it was like a real family environment there. I worked there in the early 2000s, and almost everybody who worked there since the 70s and 80s. So I don't know, it was cool. I still, like, if I run into any of them, like, we still talk and everything. It's interesting. And then this is just the last little area that I filmed. I also did not see like a name anywhere in my footage, but they had a lot of cute vintage glasses, which again, I don't need any more of. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed looking through the antique mall with me. I definitely want to go back. I kind of want to go back again this year before Christmas, because I bet you they have a bunch more Christmas stuff out, but I don't know if I'll get a chance. So I did end up buying just one thing. It was this thermos. I kind of want to do like a vintage thermos on one of the orange shelves in the kitchen. So I saw this one from Tim Hortons, which is like our national like coffee chain. I don't actually even like it, but again, it's like part of childhood. So this is definitely like a very 70s, 80s version. It looks very different now, but this gives me all the feels of childhood. Actually, I did really love it when I was a child, but I don't like it anymore. So anyway, that's all I ended up getting. It was only $20. We were out thrifting a whole bunch that day, so it was kind of like wanting to conserve money just in case. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again soon.